We have previously discussed foods that support lowering cholesterol levels. Today, we are revealing the worst 7 foods to avoid in order to maintain balanced cholesterol and support overall heart health. High cholesterol can lead to heart disease, stroke, and other health problems if left untreated. That's why it is important to be aware of the foods that can make your cholesterol levels worse. We understand how frustrating and overwhelming it can be to manage your cholesterol levels. You may have heard mixed messages from various sources about which foods to avoid and which ones are okay to consume in moderation. With so much misinformation out there, it can be hard to know what to eat and what to stay away from. But don't worry, we've got you covered. We encourage you to stick around until the end of this video so that you can learn about all the worst foods that can affect your cholesterol levels negatively. Number 1. Sugar and high fructose corn syrup. Many processed foods contain added sugars such as table sugar, brown sugar, honey, and agave nectar. Consuming too much sugar can increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes and obesity, which are risk factors for heart disease. In addition to avoiding added sugars, it is also important to limit your intake of naturally occurring sugars found in fruits and dairy products. While these sugars are healthier than added sugars, they can still contribute to high cholesterol levels if consumed in excess. High fructose corn syrup is another sweetener that is commonly found in processed foods and drinks, including soda, candy, and baked goods. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that consuming high fructose corn syrup can increase blood triglycerides and decrease HDL cholesterol, which can raise the risk of heart disease. To reduce your intake of sugar and high fructose corn syrup, read food labels carefully and avoid products with added sugars. Choose whole, unprocessed foods such as fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains instead. Number 2. Unhealthy fats. Saturated and trans fats are the 2 types of unhealthy fats that should be avoided if you have high cholesterol. Saturated fats are found in foods such as butter, cream, unskimmed milk, and cheese, as well as processed meats like sausages. Consuming too much saturated fat can raise your total cholesterol levels, increasing your risk of developing heart disease. Trans fats, on the other hand, are created by adding hydrogen to liquid oils, making them more solid at room temperature. These fats are commonly found in fried foods, baked goods, and microwave popcorn. Trans fats have been shown to raise LDL cholesterol levels while lowering HDL cholesterol levels, which can significantly increase your risk of developing heart disease and stroke. To avoid unhealthy fats, choose foods that are low in saturated and trans fats. Look for options that are baked, grilled, or broiled rather than fried. And always check food labels to determine the amount of fat in a product. By making these simple changes, you can reduce your intake of unhealthy fats and improve your overall health. 3. Processed meats like bacon and sausages. Consuming too much processed meat has been linked to an increased risk of developing heart disease, stroke, and certain types of cancer. The World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer has classified processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning that there is sufficient evidence that it can cause cancer in humans. The high levels of saturated fat and cholesterol in processed meats can contribute to high cholesterol levels, especially LDL, which is associated with an increased risk of heart disease. To reduce your risk of developing heart disease and other health problems, it is recommended to limit your intake of processed meats. Choose lean protein sources such as chicken breast, fish, beans, and lentils instead. If you do consume processed meats, do so in moderation and select options that are lower in sodium and saturated fat. 4. Fried foods. Fried foods, such as French fries, fried chicken, and fried fish, are typically cooked in unhealthy fats and oils, such as saturated and trans fats. Consuming too much fried food can increase your total cholesterol levels, particularly LDL, which can raise your risk of developing heart disease. The high levels of sodium in many fried foods can also contribute to high blood pressure, another risk factor for heart disease. In addition to the health risks associated with high cholesterol and blood pressure, fried foods are often high in calories, which can lead to weight gain and obesity. Obesity is a risk factor for many chronic diseases, including type 2 diabetes and osteoarthritis. To maintain good cholesterol levels and overall health, it is best to avoid or limit your intake of fried foods. Instead, choose healthier cooking methods such as baking, grilling, or broiling. Opt for baked or air-fried alternatives to fried foods when possible. By making these simple changes, you can reduce your risk of developing heart disease and other chronic conditions. Number 5. Refined carbohydrates. White bread, pasta, and rice are examples of refined carbohydrates which are high in calories but low in nutrients. Consuming too many refined carbohydrates can lead to weight gain and obesity, which are risk factors for high cholesterol levels. Refined carbohydrates can cause blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance, leading to the development of type 2 diabetes. This condition is characterized by high blood sugar levels due to the body's inability to effectively use insulin. Type 2 diabetes is a significant risk factor for high cholesterol levels and heart disease. To maintain healthy cholesterol levels, it is essential to limit your intake of refined carbohydrates. Choose whole grain alternatives such as brown rice, quinoa, and whole wheat bread, which are rich in fiber and nutrients. By making this simple change, you can reduce your risk of developing type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol levels. 6. Alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption has been linked to a variety of health problems, including high cholesterol levels. When your body processes alcohol, it produces a byproduct called acetaldehyde, which can damage your liver cells. Over time, this damage can lead to liver disease and high cholesterol levels. Additionally, alcohol is high in calories and can contribute to weight gain, which can also lead to high cholesterol levels. In conclusion, achieving optimal health requires the complete avoidance of alcohol for both men and women. By following these guidelines, you can reduce your risk of developing alcohol-related health problems and maintain good cholesterol levels. Number 7. Dairy products. Dairy products, such as butter, cream, cheese, and whole milk, are high in saturated fat and cholesterol, which can contribute to high cholesterol levels. The saturated fat in dairy products can raise your LDL cholesterol levels, increasing your risk of developing heart disease. Studies have shown that consuming too much dairy fat can lead to inflammation in the arteries, which can increase the risk of heart disease. To reduce your cholesterol levels, it is recommended to limit your intake of full-fat dairy products and opt for low-fat or fat-free alternatives. You can also reduce your intake of dairy products by choosing plant-based milk alternatives, such as soy milk, almond milk, or oat milk. Additionally, it is important to be aware of the hidden sources of dairy products in processed foods and to choose alternatives when possible. By making these changes, you can reduce your risk of developing heart disease and other chronic conditions. Maintaining good cholesterol levels is crucial for overall health and well-being. By avoiding the 7 worst foods for cholesterol, namely sugar and high fructose corn syrup, unhealthy fats, processed meats, fried foods, refined carbohydrates, alcohol, and dairy products, you can significantly reduce your risk of developing high cholesterol and related health problems. Remember that making small changes to your diet can have a big impact on your overall health. So start by cutting back on these worst foods and replacing them with healthier alternatives. With consistent effort, you can achieve your goal of maintaining good cholesterol levels and improving your overall health. Do you find this video helpful? Tell us in the comments below. Like and share this video with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe for more health tips. Stay healthy.